All right, troops, let's talk about Baen's new anthology, Dancing with Destruction, edited by Jason Cordova. If you're a hardcore military sci-fi reader, like I am, this anthology will catch you off guard. It's written by some of the top names in the genre, and it says all new stories of military sci-fi on the cover. But only 4 of the 9 stories are military sci-fi. The rest are solid sci-fi stories. Well, maybe one is more of a psycho thriller.
Tony Weisskopf wanted it to be military science fiction. However, in her instructions to me, she did not mention this. So I did not make any of the authors write military science fiction. I did not demand it. I just wanted to make that disclaimer because Tony forgot that in her instructions to me.
But it says it on the cover.
There's a touch of mil sci-fi in there.
Yeah.
We kick things off with All the Little Stars in the Sky by David Weber and Marissa Wolf. In their story, an explorer crash lands on a planet that's anything but welcoming. The ship is malfunctioning, the AI isn't much help, and the explorer quickly finds herself in the middle of a first contact situation. Add a not your typical apex predator, and it's survival 101. What I liked about it was how the authors combined the isolation and danger with a bit of humor. Second story is from Blaine Pardoe, titled Old and Broken Gods. We get thrown into a story set in the 1950s with a CIA agent who just happens to be an ancient god. The CIA needs him to deal with supernatural threats, specifically a demon that's causing trouble during the Korean War. If you're expecting hard sci-fi, you won't find much here. But if you like a little fantasy with your military espionage, this one's a fun ride. To Win the Final Lizard War by Joelle Presby. There's war in the title, but no, don't get excited. This is perhaps the only story in the anthology that isn't really sci-fi at all. It's more of a psychological thriller that focuses on paranoia and conspiracy theories. And let me tell you, it's not action-packed. I mean, come on, the majority of the story unfolds in internet forums. It's a slow burn, and personally, I don't enjoy slow burns in anthologies. Sorry, but this one definitely ended up being my least favorite story in the bunch. Now we jump into a story that's part of the Soul Blazers universe. The Joy of the Chase by Jacob Hollow and Edie Skye. Mercenaries are hired to track down a missing movie crew, and they end up dealing with a monster hunting spree. Yeah, it's not military sci-fi, but I enjoyed how fun and fast-paced this one was. There's lots of action and a bit of that Firefly vibe. And here's the reason why I read this anthology, Wilder Kingdom by Rick Partlow. After 4 non-military sci-fi stories, we finally get to one. And man, it's a good one. A National Guard unit is sent on a mission only to end up hunting an alien, guided by another alien who's a little more friendly. It's a first contact story with jungle warfare and an awesome twist. And when I say awesome, I mean it. So good that I had to reread the whole story again. I thought this would be my favorite story in the anthology, but to my surprise, no, that honor goes to Bug Hunt by Nick Steverson and Melissa Olthoff. A military squad is sent to check out a research outpost that's gone dark, and what they find is a whole lot of bugs with weapons and one terrifying apex predator. Yeah, the action ramps up nicely, and the squad dynamics really shine here. It reminded me of the movie Aliens. No doubt this one is my favorite story in this anthology, and it doesn't end here. This one is part 1, so you'll need to dive straight into Bugout to get the full picture. Yeah, in Bugout, the perspective shifts to the pilot who dropped off the squad in the first story. That's right, you get a different angle of the same action as in the first story, but now it's viewed through the pilot's lens as the situation continues to unfold. I love when anthologies do that. If you also enjoy such storytelling, check out Express Elevator to Hell. Anyways, Casey Azell, being a former helicopter pilot herself, brings a level of authenticity to the flight scenes that's seriously impressive. The twist at the end is a bit similar to Wilder Kingdom, but it won't be a twist for you if you follow the story closely. Concursant by Jason Cordova takes us into a dystopian future where the only way out of Earth's poverty-stricken state is to become an explorer. The catch is that you have to survive a brutal screening process. Oh, and it's all televised for entertainment, just like in the movie The Running Man. It's dark, it's got a satirical edge, and it's definitely one of the more unique reads in the anthology. We close with a bang, thanks to Wargate veterans Jason Anspach and Nick Cole. The Butcher is a tough-as-nails ranger who's imprisoned, only to be pulled back for a high-stakes mission involving a global bio-warfare crisis. It's packed with action, intrigue, and a protagonist who might be a little too honest for his own good. It got gritty military action with a dose of moral ambiguity. Yeah, this is a solid way to end the anthology. And there we have it. 1 book cover image, 1 alien menace, 9 stories, 4 of which are perhaps the best military sci-fi short stories of this year. Like I said, although this anthology is labeled as military sci-fi, the majority of these stories aren't. But instead, you're getting solid sci-fi, mixed with fantasy, thriller, even a bit of romance. For fans of the broader sci-fi genre, this is a goldmine. But if you're a die-hard military sci-fi reader, you might be a little disappointed. However, let me add that the 4 stories that are military sci-fi make the whole anthology worth picking up. So, if you're okay with stepping outside of the usual military sci-fi comfort zone and embracing some sci-fi weirdness along the way, this collection is definitely worth your time. Please like and subscribe for more military sci-fi book reviews. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Burn bright and burn enough.